I live with my parents. We're fucked, guys.
2 hours worth of work to fill my tank?
The economy isn't built for us.
$4,686.
2 bags of groceries for $46.
26 is not for the weak.
Pell Grant covered 80% of tuition, and a part-time job was enough to cover the rest.
How crazy is this?
Millions of Americans are working harder than ever, yet many feel like they're losing the financial battle because the wage is not keeping up with the cost of rising crisis. So think about it. If you're making $40,000 a year minus the taxes, whatever left you take home, and if you're paying $1,500 rent, you're not gonna survive. You're barely making it in America, and that's what a lot of people are going through right now. One job is not sustainable anymore. 2 jobs, well, it's kind of, but you're gonna burn yourself because most of the time you spend your time working for other people, and when you come home, all you have to do is just sleep, repeat the same thing. So if you are one of those people, drop a comment, let people know that you are barely surviving. Let's check out this video.
This is how I live by myself with only $30,000 a year. Let's go. I live with my parents. We're fucked, guys.
If you live on a low income like me, you need to learn this recipe for this delicious chicken and broccoli. It's cheap and it's easy. The first thing you're going to do is air fry some broccoli and some chicken. Cook some rice. Get you a bowl. Put all your rice in there. Then you want to get you some cheap Chinese sauce. This costs $3. Pour some on your chicken and broccoli. Mix this up. Incorporate the sauce. And then add it to your rice. That's it. Doesn't that look delicious? Give it a taste.
Can we please normalize lower income homes? All I ever see on TikTok are big open spaces, bright lights, brand new houses, everything perfectly aesthetically pleasing. I want the kids to see this is normal too. People still live like this.
Honestly, being a one-income family in 2026 is not for the weak. Groceries are expensive, rent's expensive, literally everything is expensive. As a stay-at-home mom, I have definitely had moments where I question if we're gonna be able to make this work. But the biggest thing that changed for us was finally getting realistic about our spending. We definitely stopped trying to live like we had 2 incomes when we only had 1. That meant less takeout, fewer impulse purchases, and definitely planning before we spend. And honestly, budgeting stopped feeling restricting when we realized how much less stressed we were with a budget. Now, do we still have hard months? Absolutely. But being home with Easton during this season of life is worth so much to us, and I think there are way more families out there that are trying to make one income work than people realize. So feel free to join me over on the Messy Mama Files, and we can figure it out together.
How crazy is this? This is how close households are to on the financial edge. 45% of households don't have enough money just for necessities. For necessities. 45% of households across the United States. That's nearly half. We are doing something wrong. The current system is wrong. Too many people are suffering. Too few at the top have too much. Have we not figured that out yet? That there's a handful of people at the top that have almost everything. And how's that working out? It means nearly half of the American population is suffering.
How in the world are people surviving? I have no idea. It literally cost me 2 hours of work just to fill my tank up today. And I am a nurse, a PRN nurse. I don't see how people are surviving with rent and everything. Oh my goodness. I talked to one of my nephews the other day, and they rent an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment outside of St. Louis, and their rent is like $1,200 a month. $1,200 a month. Now, mind you, it just took me 2 hours worth of work to fill my tank. I don't understand how people are doing it. I don't know what has to happen. We've been talking about houses a lot at work, and we definitely got a steal on ours, which it was repoed. We bought it 22 years ago. You know, a lot was different back then. But I also have a 15-year-old trying to buy a vehicle. So for those young adults that are trying to buy a vehicle, trying to buy a house, I don't understand how they're going to what's going to have to happen in society for us to get back to where people can actually afford to live. Something's got to give. I don't know how to fix it, but something's got to give.
Donald Trump, you sorry son of a bitch. 2 bags of groceries for $46. I run into my constituents at this store every few days, and they all complain about your bullshit economy, and rightly so. You have fucked the American people, and we deserve so much more than your piece of shit Trump economics. The only thing you've ever said true is what you said yesterday. You don't give a shit about what you've done to our pocketbooks, because you don't go to the grocery store, you piece of shit. You're worthless. You're worthless. And the American people deserve so much more than this garbage. And I hope that everybody that voted for you now fucking finally figures it out. That they got scammed.
Well, my grandkids ain't going to college now.
I'm shocked at you, Aunt Ruth. Grandma worked so hard to be the first in our family to get a college degree. Why wouldn't you want the kids to...
Your grandma got the Pell Grant.
So why can't the kids?
In Grandma's day, the Pell Grant covered 80% of tuition, and a part-time job was enough to cover the rest. Today, the Pell Grant covers less than a third, and 50 full-time jobs ain't enough.
That's an exaggeration.
Might as well be 50. It's just as impossible.
So they'll go into the trades.
Go into the trades. We need more people in the trades. But out of 4 critical technologies, which are defined as those that determine a nation's economic prosperity, social cohesion, and national security, China leads in innovation in 37 of them. Those aren't trades. And the U.S. isn't much ahead of countries including India, UK, South Korea, and Germany.
Aren't we the most educated country?
Nope, we're 9th. College enrollment has been declining for 16 years. 7 million students of low and moderate income rely on the Pell Grant for access to higher education. And now the Pell Grant's facing further funding shortfalls.
So in order for our economic prosperity, social cohesion, and national security, we need to not only save, but dramatically increase the Pell Grant.
Unless we want our kids leaving the U.S. to find a better life.
Being first-gen, low-income, working full-time, going to school full-time, and having your family financially rely on you is deadly. It's literally survival mode. It is literally death. Me and my cousin had this entire conversation yesterday because we were like so stressed out. Because I'm studying for the MCAT, she's studying for the LSAT. And as we're studying for these different things, our family's like, hey, like, instead of wanting to be a doctor, instead of wanting to be a lawyer, how come you just don't work full-time and like help us more? Because that'll be easier, because if you're going to be stuck going to med school or law school, like, that's a lot of money that we're missing out on. And so I was kind of like, it's like a conversation that you've been having for a while with your family, being like first gen or low income. It's like you have to pick between your dreams and ambitions and helping your family, where it shouldn't be that way. And so a few things that helped me especially was thinking about how the amount of help that I can give my family is like a drop in the ocean right now. And I was talking to this doctor about it because I really look up to her. She's Latina. She's first gen. Well, she was first gen. And now her kids are doctors too. And I was talking to her. I was like, hey, like when you were in college, how the hell did you manage all of this? Like you were going to school and you had familial responsibilities. How did you weigh that out? And she literally said to me, you're literally a child right now. Anything that you could do for your family now is literally nothing. And if you sacrifice all of your energy to them and give up on school, guess what? You still won't be helping them. You might as well be a detriment to them. And so that really changed my perspective about how I viewed everything. And something that I realized about being an immigrant daughter, especially the eldest, oftentimes what they end up doing is there's so many things that they can do, but they're like, she can do it. And so they'll put it on your weight. And so what helped me a lot was realizing, hey, my family has autonomy. They have agency. If they want to do these things, they can do it too. And guess what I found out? They did do it. All those government papers and documents I used to do when I had to do like an assignment, guess what? They did it. And so, like, the last thing I want to say is, oh my God, put yourself first. Like, your family, like, if it means giving them $400, if it means $300, or if you're, like, about to fail a damn class, put yourself first. Because if you put yourself first now, you will be able to pay them so much later, and you will thank your fucking future self.
I don't think people realize how broke $3,200 a month actually feels. Because on paper, it actually feels like you're doing okay, right? But in reality, look at this. You need to be making $80,000 to $100,000 to even be okay in this economy. But on $3,200 a month, my mortgage is like half my paycheck. And I can't imagine if you live in somewhere like California or Texas or Florida. And then you still gotta pay utilities, loans, groceries. Groceries is like a second rent or mortgage payment in today's economy. No wonder people got so much credit card debt. You don't even have money to spend on yourself. And this is exactly why it's so important to have a system. The economy isn't built for us. The rich are gonna keep getting richer and the poor are gonna keep getting poorer if you don't have a system. Tracking your money, seeing where everything is going, getting out of debt as fast as possible is the number one most important thing to get us out of this hole we just keep digging ourselves. We live on less than $40,000 a year, and we've been able to save up $35,000 by just tracking our money. And I don't care what kind of budget system you get. I have one linked in my bio if you want it, but buy any budget sheet. Make any budget sheet. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be incredibly simple, but just sit down every time you get paid and assign your money a spot.
Part of homelessness that nobody talks about. Hi, if you're new here, and welcome back. I'm Mom on a mission, and right now my mission is to get my family out of homelessness. We're officially 3 days away from getting the truck in for engine work, and I swear this has been the longest waiting game of my life. The parts are finally on their way, the labor is scheduled, and we're doing everything we can to hold it together until this chapter closes.
Car.
But because the engine costs ended up being so high, we had to cut our trailer budget down to $8,000. And that has changed everything. The trailers we were dreaming about, the ones that felt perfect for starting over, yeah, most of them disappeared off the list overnight, and it's been really discouraging scrolling through ads and realizing we have to rethink our entire plan. But I'm not letting myself lose steam, posting on here, sharing our journey, because what a surprise our income was last month. I made more on TikTok than my partner did door dashing every single day on his bike, so all of that help came from you guys for free, so don't forget to follow me and keep pressing my button. As always, please remember to eat and have an amazing day. Bye.
There is no moral compass when it comes to these companies for me. I don't give a fuck. Even medical debt. If I go to the emergency room and I get 5 bills from 5 different departments, none of them are getting paid. There was also a lot of people very concerned about my credit score. You guys are more concerned about it than me. I don't care about my credit score. A lot of people move through life without actually ever using their credit score. I'm one of those people. I don't let their scare tactics scare me. The debts get passed from company to company to company to company, and by the time it gets to company number 5, they paid like $2 for my $900 debt. They're not getting that money.
This is why the average American is struggling and complaining about wages and the cost of living. Here's the math. There's about 80 million Americans making $50,000 or less, and these are essential jobs that we need to operate this entire country, and they are being underpaid. $50,000 after taxes, 401k, and health insurance is $2,900 a month take-home pay in 2026. Let's say they find an apartment with utilities for $1,500 a month. Let's say that they do a perfect budget of $100 a week for groceries. They don't eat out. They don't do DoorDash. They are perfect when it comes to their food. $400. Let's say they get a used car well below the average for $300 to get them back and forth on their 45-minute commute. Then they have $150 for car insurance, $150 for gas, $150 for cell phone and internet, and $100 for personal care. Leaves them with $150. And they have no student loans and no credit cards. How is somebody in America in 2026 who is financially perfect, zero debt, investing in their 401k, budgeting to the dime, has $150 left over? How do they go on dates? How did they travel? God forbid, what if someone passes away in their family and they have to go travel out of state to the funeral, or a friend is getting married? They would have to put that on a credit card. We have built an economy that if you're perfect, you still have to have a second job in order to make progress. And it's so exhausting to hear people just throw out these things. Would you ever think about cutting your expenses? What are you gonna cut? This person is perfect. The wages have to go up, or we need to cut taxes on the first $100,000 and allow people to keep their money. Our generation got fucked. Hence the reason I wrote the book, Generation Fucked, How Millennials and Gen Zs Were Robbed of the American Dream and How We Can Fix Our Futures. The pre-orders are now available. Comes out July 14th. You can grab a copy of my profile. I go over so many things that happened over the past 50 years that led to this wealth inequality, from stock buybacks to private equity to the national debt to the cost of living crisis, wages, and solutions for policies and independent things that we can all do to reclaim the American dream dream and make it work for us.
How are you guys surviving? How are you paying your bills? How are you feeding your families? I do not genuinely understand how I would say, like, average pay for a lot of people, how you guys are making it in this economy. Because let's be real, the majority of people don't make over $25 an hour. I have no idea, especially people in my area in the Central Valley, how are you guys making it? Like, our PG&E is over $1,000. And this is coming from somebody who is in a pretty good place financially. I'm able to spend and buy things that I want, and I don't have to really budget too much. And if I am blown away and I am just like, oh my gosh, like, I have to spend that on groceries, I have to spend that to keep my lights on, I cannot imagine people that make 25% of what I make. How the hell are you guys doing it? Please let me know. I genuinely am just terrified for people because I don't know how long this is sustainable before our homeless population and just families are on the streets, because there's no way that this is going to be sustainable. And it's not going down. It's going up.
I'm 30. I'm a twin single mama to 3 girls, and we have $191.13 until our next payday. I budgeted $75 for groceries this week, so come pick up our grocery order with us in the rain with all 3 girls. We ended up spending $81.63, and everything that you see here is quick because that is all I have time for this week. If you're new here, my name is Amber. I'm on the healing journey to med school, and I've decided to pay off my credit card so that I can pay for school. We have a goal to make $500 by July 31st. So every like, comment, share, give star helps me out more than you could ever imagine. And if you don't know what to comment, what are y'all making for dinner tonight? Or drop your favorite yellow emoji to show the girls some love.
I just saw the video of the lady saying, like, explaining low income luxury and like shatting on people's house who have like low, I guess what she would deem low income luxury in their house. A lot of y'all ain't never been humbled, and that's the problem in life right now. If your bills are paid, you got food in your house to eat, you got snacks to eat, your lights is on, your water's on, that's luxury. You got Wi-Fi, you got cleaning supplies, you got everything you need, nothing you don't. You got a bed to lay in, those kids got a bed to lay in. You got a washing machine to dry to wash their clothes. You got every chemical you need to make sure the clothes is clean. They got what they need to go to school. They got a place to do their homework. That's luxury. Everything in your house could not match. Don't care. They ain't got nothing to do with the luxury of your house. People got to start minding their own business.
I got a letter recently that my property taxes are going to go up $600 a year from now on. I got a letter that my homeowner's insurance is going up $60 a month. My propane company sent me a letter that my propane is going to double this year. They just came and filled up my tank. It was $1,000. That's crazy. Also, as a entrepreneur and business owner, I get my health insurance through the marketplace. So you have the Affordable Care Act. I pay $45 a month. They just informed me that if this bill passes and I lose my tax credit, I'm going to go from $45 a month to $660 a month for health insurance. I need to buy a new car, and I can't because the cars have gotten more expensive and the interest rates have gotten so much more expensive. I can't find a reliable car that has the same monthly payment of $450 a month that I've been paying now for a new car. Not necessarily new, but new to me. Groceries are insane, and it feels like every day I get a new email from another subscription that I have, whether it's Netflix, my website subscription, everything's increasing in price. And I sit pretty much every day stressed about money, and yet I know that there are so many people in this country that are way worse off than me, and they're not making it, y'all. They're not making it. What hurts me the most is that there are so many women, especially, that just cannot afford to leave abusive homes, and they have to stay in it because of this economy. So are we great again, America? Like, is this what you voted for? Meanwhile, they all sit there in DC, not feeling any of these pressures, not doing anything about it, not giving a shit about the American people. I have been extremely poor, and I have been extremely wealthy. And I know from firsthand experience that the wealthy people don't notice it. And most people are pretty self-absorbed and aren't thinking about other people anyway.
So I know I can't be the only one, but like me and my family are broke, but we're not like
super broke. We're like broke enough to be living paycheck to paycheck and to rely heavily on our WIC card and heavily on me couponing, but we're not broke enough to be on food stamps. And that honestly kind of leaves us in like an awkward place because we definitely could use food stamps and that would help us out like a fuck ton, but we don't qualify for it because we make $500 too much every single year, gross pay. So instead, we rely on our WIC card. I coupon off of 11 different couponing apps, and I do physical coupons also. And every now and then, once or twice a month, we go to the food bank. And I'm not making this video for sympathy. I'm not making this for money. I'm making this video because this is how most Americans are currently living. 64% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck right now.
Somebody sure did say that making $13 an hour in this economy ain't enough money. And they right. I mean, it's not enough money. I make $13 an hour. Well, I make $13.50 an hour. If that 50 cent make a difference. When I get paid, it don't be looking like it make much of a difference. But I live at home with my parents. I ain't got no bills like that. So me making them $13.50 an hour is straight for me. I mean, and I don't have any children. I don't have no kids either. So it's straight for me. But I will say this. If you are like somebody who live on your own and if you have children, that kind of money is definitely not enough. It's actually an insult. Like if you have your own place and you have like real responsibilities and you have to look out for other human beings, yeah, that for sure is not enough money. But I mean, I managed to make them $13.50 an hour work. I mean, sometimes I'm in a place where I'm able to save money. Sometimes I'm able to treat myself, only because the responsibilities, like it ain't there. Like it ain't there for me. And, I'm in my late 20s. So now in my case, this is very much temporary because I moved back home to actually start my own business. And I have started that business and I have made money from that business. So this is not permanent. This is very much so temporary. And until I get on my feet and I'm making my money consistently, of course, I'll be in a position to quit that job that's paying me $13.50 an hour.
Girl, I'm broke. Let's talk about it. I became a stay-at-home mom in June because we were having our second baby. And before that, my man and I were both working full-time jobs. While we were both working, we were getting help from my grandparents to watch our daughter. And around the time my maternity leave was supposed to start, my grandparents started having some health issues. I had planned on going back to work after my 6 weeks was up. And while looking at the daycare prices, we quickly realized for both of our babies to go to daycare 5 days a week, that it would eat my entire checkup and we would no longer be able to afford all of our bills. So that's when my man and I decided that I would be a stay-at-home mom and raise our children while he would go out and work. I've been trying to find a work-from-home job, but I've been having no luck. And that's why I decided to make this TikTok page, because right now my man is working 3 jobs to provide for us, and I know that's a lot of stress on him, and I just want to be able to help him breathe. So if you like stay-at-home mom content like cooking, cleaning, and daily life, then please go ahead and give me a follow. So please, if you could just keep engaging with my videos from the bottom up, it really helps to boost my videos. I would appreciate it a lot, and it would help me and my family to get out of the situation we're in. And girl, it's free. Bye.
I'm 30 years old. I work 40 hours a week and I barely make enough money to survive. Let's talk about what I spent in January. I decided this was the year I'm getting my finances together, so I put all of my budget on lockdown for January. There were no extra expenses that I was allowing myself to have. Not buying any clothing, not buying any extra meals out, not buying coffee on the way to work, nothing like that. First of all, I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. I live in the center of Raleigh and pay less than $1,100 per month for rent and then an extra $100. Our energy and internet bills total about $100. So budgeting for that every month automatically takes one of my paychecks. Each of my paychecks are usually about $1,180. I did have to take a break in my career to take care of my mom because she was dying of cancer, and I do think that has played a role in the jobs that I've been able to get starting my career back up. So I'm currently working an entry-level position, and like I said, I make about $1,180 per paycheck. So one of those paychecks goes directly to rent automatically. That means I have about $1,180 to live off of for all of my other bills. The bills that I have every month are one grocery bill. I try to spend about $130 to $135 on groceries. I spent $135 in January, and I try to make it last for a whole month. And it's almost midway through February, so I can say I did make all of my groceries last. I do get to do my next grocery order in 2 days, and I have plenty of food. The other bills that I have are filling up my car twice per month with gas. Luckily, I only drive 3.5 miles to work, but I do have friends and a social life, so I fill my car up twice per month with gas usually. Another bill that I have monthly is I have 2 specific medical bills that come out every single month. I have my car insurance. Next, I only have 3 subscriptions, and those total $46 per month. I pared it down as much as I could so that I'm only paying for Netflix, HBO Max, and Hulu. That's a list of all of my recurring expenses per month, and that total for January was $1,959. Now let's get to the non-recurring expenses. My boyfriend's birthday is in February, so I had to ball out. I had to get him some great gifts, but that's okay. I planned for it, I budgeted ahead, and I used some credit card rewards. I'm not using the credit card anymore. I need to use the rewards up. My old boss left her job and took a new job. I wanted to purchase her a gift. I went to Target. I bought her flowers, a card, some stationery, desk accessories, and some pens. The total for that was $81.47. Office supplies are not cheap. Another unexpected expense was that my boyfriend got sick in January. He got sick back-to-back times, and I just felt like I wanted to make him some chicken soup. So I got all of the ingredients for chicken soup. I also ended up keeping some of it, and it lasted me for like a week's worth of meals almost. It was totally worth it, but my total was $30.67. It was also super helpful to deep dive on my finances in January, because going through my bank account, I was able to see that I still have a Squarespace domain that I'm paying for, and I still have an Adobe Lightroom subscription that I'm paying for, and I didn't previously have it written down somewhere that I have those subscriptions. Lastly, I paid $17.24 to ship a package to my friend in Texas. I also got invited by another friend to go try Dutch Brothers, because there's finally a Dutch Brothers in our area. I was nervous to go because there was not room in my budget anywhere for coffee, but I went and I paid $6.22 for that. I also spent $19.22 at Jersey Mike's because I thought I had a Jersey Mike's gift card. Turns out that gift card only had $1 on it. So I just paid for the meal anyway. Now for the final totals. Okay, I told you that all of my bills and recurring expenses for January were $1,959. All of my non-recurring expenses, gifts, the chicken soup, those totaled $647.62. Brings my total for expenses to $2,595.47. Now here's where it gets a little bit interesting. I did have an extra few days of holiday pay left over from the holidays that actually went into my account in January. So the total that I brought home in January was $2,604.15. Next month, it will go back to being about $1,200 per paycheck. I don't know if you caught that, but the difference in the expenses and the bills and what I brought home was $8.68. Now, thank goodness, I did start selling some clothes on Poshmark, and I was able to make $95.20 in January selling clothes on Poshmark. That brings my total to $103.88 that I have left over. This is cutting it extremely close. And as someone who's 30 years old and trying to build a life and build good habits, can be pretty discouraging. In the month of February, I've only made about $46.40 on Poshmark. Follow if you want to see how I fare in February. I do not have high hopes. I'm feeling very, very bad about the month of February. My closest friend has a birthday in March, and so of course I'm going to try to save as much money as I can and get her a birthday gift in February. And also I'm probably losing over $200 because my paychecks are going back to normal. Stick around if you want to see how I survive the rest of this year.
Here are 5 things I do as a broke ass parent so my kids can live a luxurious life. Number 1, we got the memberships on deck. You know, you may not always have the money, so when I do have the money, I get a membership. Zoo membership, museum membership, amusement will be had. Boring should not be a word in our weekend vocabulary. Number 2, I let my kids put in vacation input. They know we on a budget. We got to pre-plan this. Where would you like to go, and what are you interested in doing? Because your opinion matters. Number 3, we have no limit on shower times and self-care here. Whether or not we pay water, we're not going to yell, turn that shit off. You can shower as long as your heart may desire. Right. Number 4, my kids have expression for eating out, and they get to choose. And when I say eating out, they get a choice, and it cannot be Wendy's or fast food. It has to be an actual restaurant where we sit and dine like a family. If there's anything they'll have, it's dining etiquette. And lastly, number 5, my kids have free will with their attire within reason. As long as you don't look bummy, I don't care if you wear rain boots all year round. Just make sure your rain boots match your shirt, son, and I got you. Luxury isn't just money. It's literally comfort, softness, availability. It's just living life freely at some level. Please let me know how you let your child live a luxurious life if you're not rich as well in the comments. I want to get some sort of conversation going. Give me some new ideas, y'all.
Here's some low-income things that I thought were free to everybody that I got for free. Or just like anything low-income in general that I can think of in my childhood. Canned vegetables and fruits. When I went to the grocery store in college to buy my own groceries for the first time, I was like, people pay for this? Like, I'm so confused. $3 for a can of corn? Like, are you kidding me? We always got free canned vegetables and canned fruit from the church, so I just thought everyone did. Another thing, they would have these raffles for free book fair gift cards, and every single year the same people would win. People in my school would be like, well, how do you win every year? And I would be like, I don't know. But they just gave it to the people who had free lunch. Restaurants like Outback Steakhouse, Longhorn, all those like chain restaurants I thought were really fancy and only rich people go there. Like, girl. And to my other low income baddies who broke the financial cycle, comment other things down below that you thought were normal, but were just because you grew up low income. Also, I understand that some of these points are coming from a place of privilege. I know people probably were raised with much less than me, but this is just a funny video. Let's keep it that way.
I don't think people realize how broke $3,200 a month actually feels. Because on paper, it actually feels like you're doing okay, right? But in reality, look at this. You need to be making $80,000 to $100,000 to even be okay in this economy. But on $3,200 a month, my mortgage is like half my paycheck. And I can't imagine if you live in somewhere like California or Texas or Florida. And then you still gotta pay utilities, loans, groceries. Groceries is like a second rent or mortgage payment in today's economy. No wonder people got so much credit card debt. You don't even have money to spend on yourself. And this is exactly why it's so important to have a system. The economy isn't built for us. The rich are gonna keep getting richer and the poor are gonna keep getting poorer if you don't have a system. Tracking your money, seeing where everything is going, getting out of debt as fast as possible is the #1 most important thing to get us out of this hole we just keep digging ourselves. We live on less than $40,000 a year, and we've been able to save up $35,000 by just tracking our money. And I don't care what kind of budget system you get. I have one linked in my bio if you want it, but buy any budget sheet. Make any budget sheet. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be incredibly simple, but just sit down every time you get paid and assign your money a spot.
This is the part of homelessness that nobody talks about. Hi, if you're new here, and welcome back. I'm Mom on a mission, and right now my mission is to get my family out of homelessness. We're officially 3 days away from getting the truck in for engine work, and I swear this has been the longest waiting game of my life. The parts are finally on their way, the labor is scheduled, and we're doing everything we can to hold it together until this chapter closes.
Car.
But because the engine cost ended up being so high, we had to cut our trailer budget down to $8,000. And that has changed everything. The trailers we were dreaming about, the ones that felt perfect for starting over, yeah, most of them disappeared off the list overnight, and it's been really discouraging scrolling through ads and realizing we have to rethink our entire plan. But I'm not letting myself lose steam, posting on here, sharing our journey, because what a surprise our income was last month. I made more on TikTok than my partner did door dashing every single day on his bike. So all of that help came from you guys for free, so don't forget to follow me and keep pressing my button. As always, please remember to eat and have an amazing day. Bye.
Gen Z can't afford to move out of their childhood bedrooms. And this is not theoretical. This is now the Wall Street Journal reporting on this. And it's being echoed in my comments like this one. I love being 26 years old, having a full-time job and a master's degree, and still living at my parents' house. Our parents built their lives in an economy where one job and one mortgage could secure a home. Now, Gen Z graduates at the top of their class are sending out hundreds of job applications, getting a full-time job, and still are not able to make enough to move out of their parents' house. Because rent, unexpected expenses, and healthcare costs are draining every cent from paychecks before the next month even starts. Even the parents are reporting the same thing to the Wall Street Journal. There is no way that she could afford to move out. Housing costs are skyrocketing. Healthcare is a financial trap. Entry-level jobs are demanding years of experience, and wages are just not keeping pace. So from a very honest perspective, young adults are not failing, but the system is definitely failing them.
So I'm in Walmart. I don't have any EBT, but them children still gotta eat, and I don't have a whole lot of money. But I'm about to show y'all some meals that I can make at home that can stretch until the next payday. Get you some onions. They $1.24 a pound. Get you a bag of potatoes. They'll go a long way. It's 94.8 cents a pound or $7.58. Like I said, you can make baked potatoes. You can make potato salad. You can make mashed potatoes. Cut them up and fry the potatoes and put those onions in it. Noodles are 98 cents. You can make all kind of pasta. We're gonna make us some tuna pasta. The children want pan pasta. You can use any kind of pasta you want to make anything. Ziti is nothing but what? Tomato paste and stuff and a little hamburger meat. Even if you ain't got hamburger meat, make you some ziti. You can make some chicken pasta. All you need is the noodles, mayonnaise. What else I put in there? I use onion, sweet relish, season it up, and either some chicken or some tuna. If you don't have bread, use some crackers. Make some of that cornbread. I'm about to show y'all what I'm about to do. Mayonnaise is really high now. Get some from Dollar Tree. This is $2.98. $2.12. It ain't gotta be name brand. This little sugar right here is $2.12. It's up to you to get sugar. You can use honey if you want to. This is the cheapest one Walmart have. It have yellow cornmeal, but I probably won't get this because it don't say self-rising. Make sure you get the one that say self-rising. Y'all see the cornbread on there? Wait a minute now. And if you're making biscuits, get some self-rising flour. This is also $2.53. Now this is a big one right here for $2.48 self-rising cornmeal. Yeah. My grandma taught me when I was a little girl, all you need is that and that mayonnaise, because mayonnaise got all the rest of the ingredients in them. Stir it up. Put you some water in that thing. Put it in the oven. You can put your butter in there. You can put the honey on the top. Hot. Make it to your liking and your tasting, baby. Y'all know what else I love to get a lot of because it fills my children's belly and leave them not hungry for a long time? Grits. And these are $2.88 grits. You can get the ones, if you can't cook grits, get the quick 5-minute grits. Get you some grits. I got plenty of grits in my household. They also have oatmeal, but I don't like oatmeal, so I don't give my children nothing I don't like, so. If they like oatmeal, they can have oatmeal, but I don't like oatmeal. And if you like to buy cereals, instead of buying the Cinnamon Toast, get the Out brand. Same thing, different name. Just paying for brand. You cannot go wrong with peanut butter and jelly. Get you a good old peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I like jam myself. I don't like the jelly, so whatever floats your boat. Fill them children belly. But no matter how much money I got, I always make sure I got bread, sandwich meat, eggs, milk, grits, cornmeal, water. You gotta have your water. Like I told y'all earlier, make y'all some beanies and weenies. Put some of that cornbread on the side. Listen, instead of getting these sausages and stuff right here, get you the pack. Get you the pack and make your own little sausages and feed them children. You don't have to make big old sausages. Make little balls or something. Cook them. Put them in some grits. And they do have turkey sausages. And baby, no need to steal. These turkeys is 97 cents a pound. This turkey right here is $20. You cannot beat that. You talking about making something stretch. You can get one of these babies and feed your family for a whole month. And y'all also can get some biscuits or y'all can make some biscuits. And get your can of that gravy if you don't know how to make gravy. That's a whole meal itself. If you like to eat salmon, you don't know how to cook salmon, Google it, YouTube it. Baby, that's the meal. Salmon, croquette patties. Baby, I found me some black eyed peas. Can't go wrong with black eyed peas. Tuna, 94 cents.
Gonna have some rice.
Or you can get the ones in the can if you like. I'm definitely gonna have my rice. Now this rice is $1.77. Some of y'all don't know how to cook rice. They do have 5-minute rice. Strain it, rinse that rice off, rinse it again. Oh yeah, make y'all some chili. That'll last too. They got a chili starter kit over here. 92 cents. Now food is high, but you can buy food on a budget that can stretch for a whole month for you and your children, or until payday, or until they release your stamps. And then baby, it's back to the basics.